Ecological awareness is at the environment.
Students come, they don't want to go home.
Eco, these are our values at the environment.
Students come, they don't want to go home.
We believe that the current education
Some of us are trying to study.
We believe that the current education system in the UK stifles a young person's creativity and motivation to learn. The rigid, one-size-fits-all national curriculum is subjugating our children into conformity and undermining what we believe to be the true purpose of education. To follow our passions, affirm our own destiny and propel our evolution as free-thinking, individual human beings. We believe that it is a basic human right that all learners are able to design their own learning programme from what they learn to when they learn it. As with all other facets of the human domain, ecological and sustainable living are beginning to be considered in the arena of education, policy and infrastructure. Educational institutions are putting greater emphasis on environmental issues than ever before. The government have already stated that they want every school to be a sustainable school by 2020, when the Department for Children, Schools and Families launched their Sustainable Schools framework in 2006.
Here at The Environment, we have a vision. We strive to create an educational realm in which ecological and life awareness is our ethos, mantra and our vision. Freedom of choice and independent thinking underpin the personal development of our learners. As our learners plough the fields of knowledge, our unique curriculum will sow the seeds and promote the growth of a more sustainable and cooperative society within the environment and the wider community. Our learners will develop a natural curiosity in a nurturing and stimulating environment where the line between teacher and learner is blurred. Our students have the opportunity to be not only learners but also mentors within a support network of teachers and, most importantly, peers.
The footprint of learning, a unique experience. The current national curriculum has been described in terms of intellectual quality as a mile wide but only an inch deep. We believe that this rigid curriculum has been partly responsible for the current trend of teaching to the test, which is leaving students unprepared for life outside of and beyond school. Students are leaving compulsory education with varying levels of remembered facts and figures of an identical curriculum to their peers. This attitude to curriculum and learning doesn't promote free thinking or freedom of choice. While our overlying goal is to encourage an educated, sustainable, cohesive society, one cannot forget the individuals that make up such a society. Thus, our approach to teaching and learning is reflected in our flexible curriculum.
Our ambition is for our students to spend one whole day a week engaging and participating in life skills, the only compulsory subject at the environment. Life skills is intended to promote independent thought and social awareness, as well as helping develop useful skills. Life skills will be largely non-classroom based, with a strong emphasis on group activities and practical projects. Our society believes in equality of opportunities for all its citizens. That means equipping young people for a world in which their education makes a critical difference to their future lives, and for an economy undergoing constant and largely unpredictable change. Life skills includes, but is not limited to, English, Maths, ICT, Values and beliefs, Sex and relationships, Personal and social education, Communication, Problem solving, Decision making, Self-sufficiency, Environmental awareness.
There is a vast range of subjects for our learners to choose to study, from which they will construct their own learning schedule. Our vocational rotation will also give students the opportunity to participate in a range of vocational subjects, which include, but are not limited to, agricultural studies, which take place on our fully functional farm, self-sufficiency, learning how to live off the land, using vegetable patches that will provide fresh, sustainable and organic food for the environment, architectural studies for sustainable and environmentally friendly buildings. Vocational rotation is echoed within the work-based placements that will also be on offer for our students and solidify the vocational courses the students are studying. This is one of the downfalls in current education. Where education of a vocational nature has taken a predominantly backseat to the more academic subjects, we want to create synergy across the board. Wolf supports the idea, stating, "The staple offer for between a quarter and a third of the post-16 cohort is a diet of low-level vocational qualifications which have little to no labour market value. Our vocational rotation will emphasise and develop the importance of work-based placements within vocational qualifications."
Regular individual tutorials will be used to monitor students' progression, and during the tutorials students will work with their mentors to set their own goals and targets based on what they, and only they, want to achieve.
Is there something else that you would think you would like to do instead?
It really is, but I just don't know if you would operate.
Well, you can only ask and you can find out.
Really want to do astrological sciences!
Astrological science? Oh my word, fella. You are reaching for the stars, aren't you? Okay, well, I'll have a word with our department and I should get back to you by the end of the week about changing the course.
Really?
Yes.
It's that easy?
I don't see why not. I know you're a hard worker, Bella, and I know you'll give it your all.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll see you next week.
They will also decide how their work will be assessed and how they will document their learning for the final portfolio. The teachers and mentors at the school are not there to create anything for the students, they are there to facilitate and support the students through their own learning journey. We consider student support to be of the utmost importance and believe this needs to be introduced in relation to measuring progress and forming support opportunities to tailor teaching approaches. We want to eradicate summative assessment for a more formative way of measuring students' comfort with the subject matter and the classroom sessions. We look to Black, Williams and Co., who state that giving numerical scores or grades produces a negative effect. Students don't fully engage with the learning process. Whereas formative ways of checking in with students allows for students to be engaged in a reflective review of the work they have done to enable them to take ownership of their own learning.
Students will also have the opportunity to contribute to the project, where all of the students at the environment work together on a democratically chosen project such as drama productions, music festivals, art exhibits, fetes, etc.
Okay guys, I want you to start that scene again from the top. It's really important that you think about your motivation for this scene. I really want to see the intentions and the emotions okay through your physicality as well as through the voice. Okay? And off you go.
So, how long will you be at sea for?
Darling, I don't really know. It could be a week, a month, a year. My heart wrenches.
But what will I do? Where will I go?
Darling, my heart is being pulled apart by the raging seas. Oh.
That was fantastic, guys. Absolutely great. I got everything. I felt it here, loves. Fantastic. We'll leave it for today and I'll see you all again tomorrow.
Our learners will leave the environment with an EGP, Environment Graduate Portfolio. In synergy with our ecological ethos, the portfolio will be in the form of electronic document, the eFolio. Throughout their time at the environment, our students will be encouraged to document and diarise their learning journey. An eFolio will include examples of the students' work, feedback, educational references, and self-evaluations. The eFolio can be updated throughout a person's life, providing a much more substantial and informative overview of a person's strengths and talents. At the environment, we dismiss the idea that learning is something you do in school, and that fun and play is something you do outside of school, and that real life is something beyond school and beyond education. We believe that learning is life, and vice versa. We feel education should pose a question to society rather than merely provide an answer. We promote tolerance, equality, diversity and freedom of choice in the hope of establishing a more cohesive and cooperative society, where individuals work together for the good of the community and the planet.
At the environment, we are against the idea of having our teachers or learners undergo any stress or upheaval that is unnecessary. That is why we want to reform the area of Ofsted and external verification. After much documented negativity surrounding Ofsted, who have been accused by head teachers for homing in on schools' weaknesses in an excessively negative way, we want to reform this area of educational verification, and our environment will be based upon the support and advice of the community of educators, employed within our educational sector.
Therefore, we want all who learn and teach in the environment to feel secure in their jobs.
The Environment wants to ensure that departments have the right and authority to control their own legislation, creating their own rules surrounding the maintenance of quality teaching and learning. Similar to Michael Gove's Academies Bill presented to Parliament on Thursday the 27th of May 2010, which allows for a good rapid increase in schools operating outside local authority control. We would like to invite our environment to leave the local authority structure. Instead of becoming academies, we want our education sector to become independent learning environments.
Quality and maintenance will be discussed amongst the staff at the Environment on a regular weekly basis as part of planning sessions for each department. Regional conferences will allow bridges to be made across the various environments throughout the country.
The Environment will be able to achieve an educational environment which is self-sufficient and maintained by a body of professionals who know their staff and pupils on a personal basis.
As founders of the Environment, we feel extremely passionate about the areas of reform we are putting forward for consideration. All issues raised and discussed throughout this Green Paper, we believe, will allow for an educational environment in which the needs of learner, teacher, institution and environment are nurtured. We believe that every person who attends the Environment, whether to teach or to study, are individuals with individual histories, needs, values and beliefs.
I work at the Environment and I love it!